digital photo out here at night and see a lot of little circles of light in your picture that we refer to as orbs.
I see. And then take us to our next spot where we see some of the odder things here at Hupp's Hill.
We can walk over to this sinkhole.
Okay.
And anywhere around our entrenchments, both infantry and artillery entrenchments, people have seen pickets, guards, seen some of the men on duty.
So
place.
not just a full-bodied apparition, but multiple full-bodied apparitions.
Correct.
Okay. Have you seen those?
Well, right up here at the third lunette is where I saw my phantom drummer boy.
Now, what is a lunette?
A lunette is an artillery emplacement. It's a half-moon shape, so it's got the name lunette, half moon.
Mm-hmm.
And you would roll the belly of the cannon up to the earthwork, leaving just the muzzle exposed. And that's, of course, going to hopefully keep your enemy from blowing up your cannon. You would have a very bad day if your cannon blew up.
Yeah, exactly. And so from right here, we'd shoot our cannons this way.
Correct.
And I guess during the war, then what had happened, this is where the Confederates were holed up, is that correct?
This is actually a federal emplacement.
I see.
The day after the Battle of Cedar Creek, this hill, which had been held by the Confederates in the morning of the battle, was actually lost by the Confederates, and the Federals took up position here because at that far hill, Fisher's Hill, the so-called Gibraltar of the South, the Confederates had prepared entrenchments, and they were there. Federals are here and are determined that they're not going to allow the Confederates to come back to this position. However, the Confederates withdrew from the valley from that far position.
I see. And so this is where we're able to see the multiple full-bodied apparitions. Do we ever hear any noises and things of that nature?
Definitely. Different people have reported hearing horses galloping through here full tilt, wagons. Commands shouted back and forth, the noise of wagons, drumming, whispered conversations like a picket would say to another, footsteps. Now what we've seen is a small group of men around a campfire that also wasn't there, down in a hollow, talking with each other. And down here in the third lunette was where my drummer boy was.
I see. And now you have the story of the blue lights. Tell us a little about that, Jake.
Well, it was about probably 11 o'clock at night, and I went to bed.
And speak up for me, big guy, okay?
I went to bed, and there was a blue light underneath my cot. So I was half asleep, and I was groggy, and it woke me up. I was trying to brush it away, but in the morning, I asked who had the blue light, and someone had said that no one had blue lights. And
explain what happened, why it came to you.
Why it came to me was because I was drumming on the log. Cody said stop. And
okay, and we need to use the name Apache when we talk about our Native American friend, okay?
Okay.
Not a big deal. We'll get rid of it.
Apache said stop, and I didn't listen, obviously, and I was visited.
You didn't listen? You mean you don't listen to every word people tell you, son?
No, not really.
Yeah, that would make you a Southern boy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you had provoked it in your opinion, or at least in Apache's opinion, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, and so you see the blue light, you swat at the blue light, and then what happened?
About 5 minutes later, it went away.
5 minutes later?
Yeah.
So did you have a change of underwear at this time that you had to worry about? It didn't scare you?
No, I wasn't scared. I actually knew it was going to come to me, so...
Because I told him he was going to get a payback.
And that disembodied voice is not a spirit. That is our friend Apache that we hear from time to time. And what I'm going to ask you to do, if you would, sir, is tell us a little bit about your experiences. What are the things that you see? And we're going to keep the camera on Jake, so continue to be pretty, Jake, okay? But we're going to talk to Apache and have him tell us some of the things that he sees.
I see orbs. Orbs are all around me. Orbs go through me. I see bodies, men.
When you say bodies of men, tell me specifically what you mean, sir.
I see where the drummer boy is buried up here on the hill.
Okay.
I see men walking around the road at night. Men over in the woods.
Do you see some things that other people just don't see?
Sometimes.
Okay. What have you seen that other people have seen, Apache?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Let me ask you something, Babs, with the idea in mind of the drummer boy here. Is it possible for you guys to do historic excavations on places to find if...
We can. We can do excavations. It's our private property. We are preservationists, though.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do it properly.
Of course.
Archaeological investigation is tremendously expensive. It's something that's not a line item in our budget.
I see.
Unless we were to put together a really big volunteer crew.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it would still cost a lot of money for equipment and so on and so forth. I don't see it happening anytime really soon.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I wonder if we should be messing with some of the graves that we have.
Would you want somebody to go dig up your grandfather?
You know what? Frankly, I think they'd have to dig awful deep to get to my grandfather, but that's beside the point. That sort of thing actually doesn't bother me, Apache. That's one of the things. I hope I'm the guy that they discover 2 million years ago that proves something unusual about us. So that doesn't bother me personally, but that doesn't mean that everybody shares my same point of view. Then let's do this, because hopefully other people are going to come see you and visit with you with the idea in mind of visiting with the spirits. What are some of the behaviors here that are just unacceptable, that simply aren't to be tolerated? Tell us what a good ghost hunting group will do, and tell us just what is completely, flatly intolerable.
Okay, well, first of all, there's got to be constant respect. There can't be comments dropped about, Halloween type things. It's got to be a constant atmosphere of history has happened here, people have died here. This is not anything to turn into a carnival. It is not ever anything to make it a joke. I think one of the reasons that we have had no evil on this hill is because we have showed this kind of respect. If a ghost hunting group comes in, they have to kind of sell themselves to us before we allow them to come onto the property. They've got to tell us about how they proceed, what their attitude is. We go with them, make sure that they've got the proper attitude even while they're investigating. We literally consider this sacred ground. There was blood spilled here. We firmly believe that the spirits of some of those people are still with us. And it would be like going into someone's living room and insulting them to come onto this property and not treat it with the reverence that it deserves.
I see. Okay. Thank you for that, Babs. Now, what I'm going to ask Apache to do, if you'd be kind enough, is to walk down with us to the drummer boy's burial site. And what we're going to do is we're not going to run the camera until we actually get there, because one of the things we want to do is make sure that there isn't any motive for mischief and way for people to find things. But would you be kind enough to take us down there and share that with us? Thank you, Babs.
Okay. I'm going to go inside. I just have somebody go in the museum. Do you
Gotcha.
need me again?
No, not for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, please.